Hello guys and welcome back and welcome to 2018, and here's hoping that 2018 is going to be a prosperous one for all of us. I'm going to be doing a yearly review. I'm just going to go over a few things from the Euro USD, the Euro GBP, USD CAD and the Aussie dollar. I'm not going to go into too much detail, trying to keep it as simple and as basic as possible, just easy to understand. I'll just quickly mention, for those of you that are part of the service that we provide, and members of that service, you'll know, or you would have seen the video that I put out before the fact of what I'm about to say. In that, I was saying, based on the analysis, there's a video that I did regarding directional bias and getting that directional bias, or finding directional bias. Sorry, that was just a wire. Directional bias on trades that you're going to, that you're looking to take. Because obviously you have to be bullish, bearish, or neutral. Okay. And in that video, I was describing how I believed the Euro USD was going to be challenging this old monthly high, and we've just hit it to the pip basically last month in December, going into the end of the year. Now, yes, we weren't trading because obviously markets are very thin during that time. Holiday periods, everything slows down. And we like to let the markets kind of pick up before we jump back in. So I was saying that Euro USD could potentially be looking for these prices, and we got there. So the context behind what I was discussing in that video hasn't changed, because obviously this is a monthly chart. We've started a new month now, and in a nutshell, we'll keep, again, really simple. There was an old low down here that was taken out, okay? So we came down, retest, break through, and then we've pretty much been grinding higher the entire year, okay? So you could say this, you could say like 2017 has been, decently bullish, okay, on the monthly chart. And we cleared this swing high and we cleared this swing high. So here we are in this range. I personally believe, okay, that we could potentially be, having a couple of months of kind of consolidation. I don't think we're going to rip. I don't think we're going to come back down. I just think we're kind of just going to stay within this simple range, in effect. So kind of here. I think this is where we're going to stay for a while. Or I say for a while, because this is a monthly chart, obviously it takes time for these bars to form, and I just can't see at this point, if we do break out of this range, there is some movement to go before we challenge. Sorry, not before we challenge. There is some movement to go, roughly kind of here, I'd say. But again, this area that I've just marked off, this is a void, okay? And there's many different ways to look at this. I'm not going to go into the details, but there's many different ways to look at this, and we would need to see a very strong, good bar, or a good candle outside of that range that we're in here and into this new range here, and then we can start looking for pullbacks and so on. But again, this is a monthly, so right now I believe that Euro USD could potentially be going sideways for a little while. At least for the first couple of months, but we'll see how we fare. We can always change our mind. Let's drop down to the weekly, okay? And again, you can kind of see this a little bit more refined. Nice drop down, retest, breakthrough, reverse, low, high, higher, low, nice trend upwards, breaks a swing high, and then now we're kind of consolidating in this area. It does look like it really wants to kind of just push up a little bit more. My guess would be could potentially be seeing 122.50 maybe if we pop out of this range, with some really good strength. But again, there's really no rush. It is the 2nd of January. There's no rush. We don't need to go throwing ourselves into the marketplace. We'll just chill out. Let the first couple of weeks pass by. Let them do what they need to do, and let the volume pick up. We can take it from there. Let's drop down to the daily. Just have a quick look, and you can see that monthly high. Look, it almost hit there. Talking about sort of like 8 pips off, but we've had a decent move up, small consolidation, continued movement higher, and then obviously we're approaching this almost previous monthly high, So after a nice, decent, steady move up like this, if euro is going to remain bullish, then we'll probably steady off in this sort of area and go sideways for a little while. So we'll see how we fare with this. With Euro GBP, this is a monthly of the Euro GBP. This is very messy, to be honest. If you kind of look at the overall range, the easiest way to do this for you, if you kind of look at the overall range, sort of here, okay, kind of in the middle. You know, if you take the full range of, say, 1,000 pips, okay, so 500 is about there. We're not that far off, guys. We're pretty much in the middle of this range. So if you kind of look at the yearly range is 1,000 pips. We're in the middle of that yearly range, you know. So they sold some here, they bought some here, you know, and kind of back in the middle. So there's nothing really happening with Euro GBP. Just drop down to the weekly. Let's get rid of this. Again, you can see, you know, we had this sort of high created, we've come down, low created, lower low, sorry, excuse me, lower high, lower low, and then a reversal. Yeah, breaks high, back up here, a nice drop down, sideways, 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 sideways for, you know, for the remainder of the year. And again, the daily, there's not really much to shout home about. You know, if you kind of look, you can see it. You can actually, it just literally jumps off the chart. It's quite a messy pair at the minute. Kind of that, really. Yeah, it's just a broad range consolidation, not really going anywhere. I'd love to see something like, not love to, but I'd, you know, for me to even be interested in this pair, yes, you can kind of take scalps here and there and a few intraday trades, but for me to, you know, to be even remotely interested in this pair, you know, I'd want to see it either outside of this range here, top side, you know, or bottom side here, and really go for it, you know. But there is trades that we can take within this range, and if something obviously sets up, then we will take it based on all the analysis that we do. USD CAD, again, we're in the lower end of the yearly range, guys. So again, we'll just do it easier. There's an easier way of doing this. I'll just do it like this for you. So we've got 1,762 pips. Okay, so roughly around about, we're talking 500, 350, about 850 pips or so. Right. So if we just take 850 pips, slightly over 850 pips about here, your equilibrium, or the middle point of the yearly range, is about here. Okay, so we've kind of grinded higher, you know, nice bullish months, and then we had a really sharp sort of decline, some rejection here, nice decent bar, and then we've kind of gone sideways into the remainder of the year. And this is a new candle that's forming now, which is the month of January. So we're in the lower end of the range. Okay, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're bearish, but because we're in the lower end of the range, we're going to see how price kind of fares. Just as a, and this is monthly, remember this is a monthly, but just as a kind of, as a general idea, right? We could, let me just sort of sharpen these up a little bit, make them a little bit thicker so we can see what's going on. Okay, we could potentially see something along the lines of the following. Alright, something like this. Yeah. And again, remember this is a monthly, but we would need to clear this convincingly through sort of like the mean of the yearly range, sort of really convincingly, and stabilize in this area for me to even consider a higher price. But I'm sort of mildly bearish on USD CAD. We drop down into a weekly and kind of zoom out a little bit, see where we are, get a little bit more detail. But you can see we've kind of peaked, a nice drop, sloppy consolidation, breakout. So if you kind of look at this, guys, there, okay, a lot of traders would have been buying here, you know, nice move up, big strong weekly candle. The following week people would have been buying, and they would have been, if you look, we'll just zoom in, they would have been rewarded for their buy at this point, and in some cases probably up around about 120 pips, for example. But then it's just basically drifted lower. broke the low just here, continued going lower, broke another low. Okay, nice bounce off there, but eventually breaks, comes back up. We've had a nice break of swing high here. So we had a swing high here that's been broken on this move back up. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. So you can say that we're effectively, you know, in a range that I would consider here. I'll just go a little bit lower here. Okay, so this is the range that we're kind of studying. If we get above this, then we could go higher. But for me personally, consolidation, consolidation. I mean, this is effectively, guys, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of sideways movement. You know, from sort of, you know, we'll say talking November right through to the end of the year. And that for me, because we've kind of broken this small consolidation low here on this candle, we may see it's just a slow kind of grind lower and challenge this previous low. But again, beginning of the year, really not in a rush. Just take our time and see how we fare. But I'm mildly bearish on USD CAD. Let's take a look at the daily. Just kind of zoom out and kind of refine the range a little bit to here. So even sort of 60, 70 pips there, just to sort of challenge this small little consolidation area here. But we'll get, again, excuse me, we'll see. No rush, really no rush. So mildly bearish on USD CAD. And then the Aussie dollar, it's basically just been going sideways on the monthly for a while now, which again is quite easy to see. Just kind of take the consolidation range, you know, peaks, drop, 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 sideways. Okay, there's not really much to work with here. That's the range for me. I mean, I'd need to see a convincing move over this high here, which is roughly sort of at 81.25. But if I'd even consider a long on this, and we drop down to the weekly, again you can see sideways. You know, we had this kind of nice decent move up, a bit sloppy, drop down. Okay, this is kind of a higher low here that's formed on the weekly chart. Does that mean that we're going higher? We don't know yet. Drop down to a daily. You can kind of see the structure again. It's easy to kind of look at this and say, well, look, we've had a really nice uptrend, you know, and this could continue going higher. But I don't do that. What I like to do is if we mark off where the uptrend is at the minute, the price of the uptrend, so this whole move here, and this is the kind of peak of the whole move, you know, and then drop down to drop up to a weekly again, we're kind of still in the middle of this consolidation. So what I'm trying to get at, guys, is this. This is why I'm very careful. I like to use high time frames a lot to give the directional bias and the strength of the levels that we have. But if you kind of look at this, this is a consolidation here, this area, consolidation. So we're banging our head against this consolidation. So on the daily, it looks great, you know, because it's a nice drawn out trend, you know, and it's a bit more, it's not a bit more, sorry, it's easier to fall into a trap and assume that this is an uptrend because it's high low. So you've got a previous low here, higher low, now you've got this kind of big sort of higher low compared to the entire range, you know, and it's easy to be fooled into believing that this is going to continue going higher. But don't forget, we are bumping up into a higher time frame consolidation. Okay, so for me, not really much to do with the Euro USD, sorry, the Aussie dollar at the minute. But again, we are at the beginning of the year. I'm not really worried about what's going to happen, you know, in the first sort of couple of weeks. We're just going to take our time, let things flow, and then we'll take them from there. And again, if something pops up, we'll throw it out there. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. And I will be keeping an eye on, excuse me, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the Euro USD and the Aussie dollar. Sorry, my apologies. The Euro USD and the USD CAD are the two pairs that I'm going to be looking at. We may potentially get a pop above this this monthly a previous high, but then I want to see what happens after that. Okay, so if we get above this and we have a nice rejection, then maybe a potential short in the coming weeks, to bring us sort of back down into the equilibrium of the range. But again, wait for these things to sort of unfold. I'm not going to anticipate. We've gone from basically here to here. The market's already moved sort of, almost 350 pips. This is, for me personally, unless you're looking to just take 10 pips at the top, what's the point? Let it do its thing. If it breaks out sideways for a couple of days, drops down nicely, and it's showing strength, great, buy. But right now, we like to see things unfold. Take it nice and slow, let things unfold. We want a solid story behind our trades. We want to make sure that when we're taking trades, that they're solid, that they're based on sound analysis, and that they're based on good risk management. So we want to maximize on everything that we do. So I look forward to the new year, guys. I wish you all the best for the new year. I've got lots of exciting stuff coming, and we'll see you all soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye.